Alright, I was told that I should take a video of this process. 82 Honda CB. Doing a quick restoration to it. Looks a little rough, obviously. Been sitting for a while. Cafe style. Issue that we had here was no spark at the coils. What I found here in this switch, looks like somebody had been messing around in here, so I actually had to do a couple wire repairs here, and then down here somebody just cut wires, twisted them together with dielectric grease underneath electrical tape. So what the issue was the way they had it wired up was kill switch here would just kill spark. So you could have it in the on position, spark would be good. Either position here or here, spark would be killed. Obviously, it's not supposed to, you're not even supposed to be able to turn over the bike in either of these positions. So what happened? So what I ended up doing was I just cut the points that they had twisted and soldered, and I obviously soldered myself in, and instead of just putting electrical tape on it, I actually put some good heat shrink on there. Obviously I had to trim this one up. There's not much, it wasn't much wire to work with. Not really supposed to do multiple wire repairs in a strand of wire, but with the way this is up in here, would have been real difficult to pull this wire out and put another one in without possibly damaging this plastic housing. Could have undone the clip and possibly pulled out the solder points and unsoldered them and resoldered them. Just the fact that this is all plastic, I didn't want to play any risky games, cause any damage. Tested everything, works now. But I had to, like I said, previous owner, they wired it in, so just killed spark instead of, you know, turning off the bike. And then while I was in here, they had this ground wire here for the spark, actually. Supposed to be wired in the switch here. Actually, as you can see, I do have this cut wire. Haven't twisted it up quite yet. But you're supposed to have it. It's supposed to be wired into that ignition switch, or the kill switch rather. So what I did instead, almost as a anti-theft deterrent, as you can see, it's through this. Not my best soldering job. Soldering multiple gauge or different gauge wires together can get a little bit weird. Different wires heat up a little bit faster than the other ones. But what I did is I actually soldered this into the ignition key itself. Kind of difficult to see, it's all tucked up in there, but I actually soldered this into the ignition key itself. So when the ignition key is off, it actually pulls ground out from the coil, so even if anybody were to get in here with the battery in here and try to jump anything here, you can't start the bike because it doesn't have any spark. As you can see, I actually pulled the harness completely out of this bike. Took it all apart. Gonna have to re-put it all back together, but just because of all the weird stuff that the previous owner did, I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be fighting any other weird electrical gremlins. As you can see back here, they had some weirdness going on with the rear brake light on this harness. Actually, they actually had multiple crimps. I know I did multiple wire repairs in the front there, but at least I soldered and heat shrinked them. As you can see, they had heat shrink crimps. They got multiple crimps. Probably, I'd say, what, about four inches away from each other. Even less on this one. So like I said, seeing a lot of this weird electrical stuff that this previous owner had going on, I just wanted to pull the whole harness out, especially on these old bikes. It's real easy to do, so I just decided to do that. And then when I was going back together with the spark plugs, actually it might be very difficult to see, this hole is actually missing a plug altogether. when I was pulling it apart. It actually has damaged threads. It's kind of difficult to see, but they're wallowed out and just completely destroyed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a thread insert. I don't really like helicoils. I might end up having to go with helicoil coils. My order got canceled for that. So I don't know. I'm planning on getting an actual insert, solid piece that'll thread in there. And then you see, got these good spark plugs are good on this side. Next step is going to be looking into these carburetors, seeing exactly what's going on. If they're even good enough to start. But it's been sitting for a while, so we might I might have to take them out, tear them down, clean them out. But as you can see here, it's been sitting so long that the aftermarket pod filters they had on this actually started to wax. All the oil on there actually started to congeal. So there's that. Pretty decent shape otherwise. Looks like it's got some basic stuff on here like oil leaks. As you can see, it's pretty damp all the way around, but that's pretty small bananas. Pretty simple oil fix. Got to tank down some other weirdness with this. As you can see, previous owner didn't really care how this was mounted. So you can see it's all loose. Could be just, over time riding, it loosens up. But what I'll probably do is I'll probably take this off, put some Loctite on it, tighten it back down again. And then this license plate bracket here, it's a little, looks like it might be a little wallowed out, loose. And then, oh yeah, of course, the exhaust. Real short pipes on this, they just cut it. Very difficult. Or I almost thought, of course I wasn't looking too hard, I almost thought that they put an aftermarket exhaust on this, but you can actually see where they cut it, some of the lips on this, so I'm definitely going to want to put a new exhaust on this. But that's kind of sort of towards the end. I mainly care about getting it running first. Engine does turn over. Checked that as soon as we picked it up for buying. And then last thing here, you can see right there, that looks sheared off. That, of course, that's going to be the rear brake. Kind of a cool housing. It's actually got air holes in it, looks like, for possible breathing. I've got the Kawasaki over here, 82 CSR. Not quite the same, but it doesn't really have that on there, which, you see that solid piece, but thought that was actually kind of cool on that one. It's got some cooling on that. Doesn't have the drilled or slotted rotors in the front, which is weird because the Kawasaki has that. Might just be because this is more of a tourer, so they really set this one up for more touring possibly. But I might have to look into brakes on this. Does look like they had something going on with this. Definitely looks like, as you can see, definitely looks like aftermarket brake reservoir. Of course, to my eyes, it looks aftermarket. Definitely looks like aftermarket levers and everything. And then, of course, one last electrical thing, kind of weird. Still debating if I want to hook this back up. I think I might wire this back into the harness. The clutch switch actually seems they took it out completely. So you just, you can just turn the engine over without having to pull the clutch down. It's a little weird. I guess it's kind of nice, but I know at least me, I'm going to forget to take it out of gear and try to start it. But yeah, not in too terrible shape. Tank's not bad either. They had it sanded down and both emblems removed. So what I'm trying to figure out is what color I want to paint this. Where I want to go with this and what type of emblems I'm going to put on it. But yeah, not a bad little shape. Like I said, I was told I should record the progress of this. Progress right now is halted till I can get a thread repair, obviously. But the plan with this is I'm gonna try to be careful about this. I don't know if I'm gonna take the head off. I might put the cylinder at TDC and then drill and tap, or probably just tap at this point because it's so wallowed out. And then put that insert in there and then use my vacuum to suck out the aluminum. I've had luck in the past with that. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad of shape. But yeah, like I said, I was told to try to record the progress of said bike. Yeah,